Hey, this video is about a technique that every beginner in calisthenics should use, and it's something that will speed up your progress tremendously, save you a lot of time and effort and headache over progressing as a beginner. Now this method is drop sets. Now I know you probably know what drop sets are, but hear me out because it may be important, it may be different than what you know, and I'll also explain why exactly this is better than any other method in the very beginning. Now for those who don't know, a drop set is basically a single set where you push to failure, and without rest you drop down in intensity, you keep going, and then once you reach failure again, you drop down in intensity and you keep going, all within one set, no rest, until you absolutely cannot push or pull anymore. So an example from bodybuilding that would be easier to understand perhaps. Yeah, buddy! Would be that you're curling 15s, right? Once you max out your 15s and you're not able to keep pushing, you drop down to 10 kilos, you keep curling 10s until you cannot, then you drop to 5 kilos and you keep curling until you absolutely cannot, you reach complete failure, and that's when you stop. Now in calisthenics, of course, it's more difficult, I suppose, to manipulate your weight because there are no plates or dumbbells. So as an example, with a push-up, what you do is, let's say you max out your push-ups on the floor, you move on to elevate your hands on a higher surface, and you keep going. And then once you max out that, you put your hands, let's say, on a kitchen counter, and you keep going. You keep going all the way until, let's say, you're standing basically vertically and you're pushing against a wall and you cannot do that anymore because you're fully gassed out. That's a drop set. Now remember, the important thing here is that you should be doing the whole thing without rest in between, or with very short rest in between, because the purpose of it is basically have a full, very long set that will challenge your endurance, build your work capacity and strength. Now, why would you use drop sets? Well, because as a beginner, your work capacity is quite different from that of a more advanced athlete. In the very beginning, you're able to push yourself to failure or even past failure every single workout, while still being able to recover after a couple of days without building fatigue in the long run. Now, for more advanced athletes, it's quite the opposite. You basically have to be more careful about not going too hard on each of your workouts, because then it will impact your recovery and also build up fatigue over time. And that fatigue over time will cause you to have to deload much earlier. However, if you're a beginner, or even like you've been working out for 2 years or so, I don't think there's any need for you to worry about overtraining just yet. Now, the flip side of this magical ability of beginners is that beginners have less work capacity within the training. What that means is basically you can do less in one session than a more advanced athlete. So a more advanced athlete will be able to add on more exercises and be able to recover within the rest time much more efficiently and better. So going hard in the first couple exercises won't affect the next one. And for beginners, unfortunately, work capacity is a problem. It's something that you want to build over time, and so if you try to do more than, let's say, one exercise, reaching close to failure, you'll find yourself really struggling to execute the next exercise with similar quality, intensity, and form.
I read about
As an example, if you're doing push-ups, let's say 3 sets of 10 push-ups, every set is close to failure, you'll be gassed out after that. There is no way you will be able to do, let's say, another 3 sets of diamond push-ups or pike push-ups, just because it's the same prime movers, right? It's shoulders, chest, and triceps are being used. Now, those muscles will not be able to recover properly for a beginner, and so all the additional sets will turn out to be junk volume. Basically, if you're able to do the second exercise as well as the first one, that means that you didn't go push yourself hard enough in the first one. Now, if you're saving energy in the first exercise so you can do more exercises throughout the session, that basically just means that you're not pushing yourself hard enough it'll slow down your progress in both exercises or all of the exercises that you're doing. It's much better to just focus on one single thing, push it and progress as quick as possible in this one exercise, particularly in calisthenics because it's all compound exercises, so you're using the same muscles usually. So let's say shoulder, chest and triceps for virtually any push movement. So there is really no reason for beginner to, let's say, do chest focused push-ups because, oh, you don't want your chest to lag behind. Like, no, just work on one thing because everything is targeted anyway. You want to take your push-ups as far as you can, be as good at them as possible, and you will not need to do other exercises. You will not build any imbalances whatsoever. It's not how it works. Now, aside from all those negatives of doing more exercises, and especially when the second exercise is of worse quality, it's just wasting time, you know? Like, it's not worth it to spend so much time resting and waiting and within the workout for 3 sets of something that will not really impact your progress that much, or may even be slowing it down, right? Take that time to, I don't know, stretch, do some mobility training, or drink a protein shake. Now, many of you have seen the workout plan video that I've posted. You look at the workout plan and you see 1 exercise per muscle group, and then many of you text me about like whether this is enough volume. Like, this is only 1 exercise. Can I do more? Can I do more? And the thing is, no. What? You should not be doing more, because if you do more, the quality of everything is just going to be worse. But what you may not have paid attention to is the little drop set written in the last set of those exercises. Now, the drop set, if you follow the previous definition, you push past failure without resting. A single drop set can last like 50 reps, 60, 70 if you listen to David Goggins' speeches while doing it.
Who's one more to carry the boats?
That's almost as much as your original workout, if not more. And that's also basically doing the same exercise that you're trying to progress in, but at lower intensity. So your whole workout is surrounded around that one thing, and your form and quality is not affected by it because you're dropping down in intensity. So to wrap up, you get better at the exercise that you're training. And so if you do drop sets of that exercise that you're trying to progress in, it'll be much better than if you train other exercises instead with worse quality. And so you also build your work capacity and endurance, because that one single drop set is so long, and that work capacity increases over time, and you'll be able to add more exercises. Your endurance is also worked on, so in the future you'll be able to recover better and better within each session and also between sessions. Once you've been doing this for a while and you realize how really fast your progressions go up, you'll be able to start thinking about adding 1 more exercise. But in my opinion, you shouldn't do that until you can do, let's say, 10 push-ups effortlessly, and also do pike push-ups pretty effortlessly while adding normal push-ups. If you haven't reached that point, please do not try to do more. You should try to do more of this one exercise, not add in like additional 10 exercises that you saw online. You should not be training any isolation movements, because why would you be doing, let's say, bicep curls after pull-ups if you can just do a drop set where you work on rows, right? Like, you're still targeting the same muscles. Yes, it's not isolation, so it's not like specifically for growth of that one muscle, but compound movements are much better at gaining strength, and obviously you'll be getting better at pull-ups by doing something related to pull-ups instead of doing bicep curls. Like, you won't be training tricep extensions to get better at push-ups, right? You won't be training bicep curls to get better at pull-ups. You train the exact exercise that you're trying to get better at. You didn't have to cut me off. Drop sets allow you to do it with less intensity, less and less, all the while building more endurance for that exercise and in general. Yeah, so this was the one thing that helped me the most, and I really think that every beginner should do this. Now, many of you will see this video be like, this makes sense, but then go on to do 10 exercises per session, add in like 20 isolation exercises, and hope for the best.
Stop it. Get some help.
It's not the way to go. Like, trust me, really. If you want to take the bodybuilding path, while doing calisthenics, you still should be first focusing on getting the basic movements, and when you get really good at those, you can start working on the isolation movements. Because if you add isolations early on, you just don't have the work capacity to do everything effectively, efficiently, and with as perfect execution as possible. So this is it from me, and see you in the next one.